Welcome to the RETSY podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Morrison. Today, Chris and I sit down with brand new RETSY agent, Casey Thompson. Casey gives us a little bit of background on him and his real estate career, and it explains what attracted him to RETSY. Let's get into it.
Came out to my car like after a day and sitting in there, called my mom, and I was crying. I was bawling like a baby because I'm like, I needed some money from her and I feel terrible asking. And, it's like, I feel like a failure in that moment. But I remember telling her, I was like, I feel like I'm right on that cusp of like having success and I can't give it up. Like, I'm not going to give up now. Like a month later, I'm up in that same spot in the parking lot taking a picture, like a selfie, and being like, 3 inspections today, like it did just materialize that time.
Welcome to the RETSY podcast. Today, Chris and I are sitting down with, at the time of this recording, the newest RETSY agent, Casey Thompson.
Proud to be here. What's up, fellas?
Well, Casey, thank you for coming in and recording with us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've interviewed most of the interviews so far have been OGs. So getting a little bit.
Our OGs are the ones that have been here since like year one, and
exactly
saw the growing pains we've had and helped resolve them, and but it's going to be cool to get some perspective from somebody that just came over. So
100%. I got a little bit of that for sure. It'll be 10 years licensed October of next year. So coming up on the decade. Feels like 25.
Right.
But we've learned a lot over that time for sure.
Dude, that's that period where you kind of like you hit a really good stride. You know, it was just like we joke around. I've said this before. It's like my own family wouldn't use me for like 2 years in real estate.
That's probably smart. You don't want to muddy those waters.
But then you establish yourself and you have you do more and more sales and you promote yourself, and then all of a sudden they're calling you for everything.
Exactly. And like I truly feel like I've put in my 10,000 hours now. It just takes forever to get good at anything. And it really is like 10 years. Like, you want to be a good lawyer? Like, expect to be going hard for 10 years. And then now I'm starting to feel that like, okay, I'm kind of starting to master this, right? Which is, it just changes a lot of how you operate. It's like now when I'm reaching out to people, there's not like that nervousness of like, oh, I need to nail this. I'm like, I know I'm doing people a good service. If they can realize or can't realize that, that's on them, right? Yeah. And you just start to like not really give a shit about what people think about you anymore, right? I guess that's kind of the beauty of getting older in general is you're like, this is who I am. And that really lends itself to probably any business, but especially this one.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Well, so almost a decade in, what'd you do before real estate?
So, okay. All right, I'm going to start kind of life story here because it all ties in.
Yeah.
So, born and raised in Southeast Alaska. I was born in a city called Sitka, and then within a few months after me being born, we moved to the woods. So, my dad runs fish hatcheries. So, I say he's a marine biologist, but he's a marine biologist like George Costanza's marine biologist, I think. He just worked his way up in the hatchery game. So, he was working at a hatchery called Medviji in Sitka when I was born. And then he got offered a job as manager out at a place called Burnett Inlet. So we moved to Burnett Inlet. There was like 10 people there year round. My older brother and I were the only 2 kids. So you guys know that dynamic. It was just us. And we lived, when we first moved there, in an abandoned barge on the beach, right? That was one of their housing options. So they eventually built my dad a house up the beach, and that's a whole crazy thing too. Like we had to all of our furniture was like on a pulley system going to the new house down the beach.
You have to boat everything in, right?
Everything, right? So we either had to fly or boat to town, and we would get a mail plane every week and a grocery plane every 2 weeks. So you put in your orders and you get that. So from there, we moved to another remote place called Neats Bay. And then when we were living in Neats Bay, I was 9, I think. My brother's 13 or so. We come home one day, and there's, on our mirrors in the bathroom, there's signs that say, pack your bags. We're moving to Petersburg. And we're like, let's go, baby, the big city, let's go. 3,000 people on an island, right? But to us, like, okay, we're moving to town. And like, it's not like we had no idea about, what cities or towns were like. Like, we have family in Washington, Seattle. So every summer, my parents would send us off. Like, we would go stay with my grandparents in Port Angeles, then Bellingham, and then go up to Juneau, and we'd be gone for like a month, and we loved it. And they loved it too. So we moved to Petersburg, and that's when I get my first job around the age of 13, being a commercial fisherman. So I was a commercial fisherman from age 13 to 25, and this is seasonal, of course. So this is between going to school. I do it for 4 months out of the year.
What were you guys fishing for? Like crab or like actual?
Mostly salmon. So I mostly purse seined for salmon. I also crabbed for Dungeness, so not the big kings you see in the Bering. So I did dungy crabbing and long lining for halibut and black cod. So that was my employment experience, like through age 25. I also had some other jobs, though, of course. So I'm going to school in Bellingham, Washington. The first job I had there, door-to-door sales of Comcast, which is Cox around here. Right? It's like digital cable, phone, TV, door-to-door.
Door knocking.
I have their info. I know what package they're in. I'm like, I have fantastic news for you. I can get you a better package for less per month. How's that sound? They go, okay, if I can get someone to agree, now I have to come into their house. I have to call customer service, get them hooked up. This takes about 45 minutes, right? So we're small talking the whole time. And, I didn't really mind it. I started training people after a couple months there. And then when I was finished with that, I kind of realized like, oh, if you can do that, you can do pretty much any type of sales probably, and I always knew that I had like a knack for that. Like I was a blue collar worker fishing and that was great. Like that's, I love that too. But I also knew my body's not going to hold up my whole life. Like I need to become a skipper if I want to stay in this industry. So I was always working on like sales jobs, marketing stuff on the side because I knew I kind of had a knack for that. I should have just got my real estate license in Washington when I was going to college. So dumb to not do that, but I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't really know you could do it,
Yeah.
So eventually I remember this too. I remember being out on the back deck. It's like 4:15 a.m. probably. We're waiting. Openings usually start at 5 a.m. And I can't remember if it was an opening day, but sometimes we have multiple day ones. Anyways, 4-something in the morning, out on the back deck, and we're in like 3-footers out by the ocean, which, it's tiny, sounds tiny, but when you're constantly just being beat up, you're just like sitting there drinking coffee, looking up, and there's these planes flying around, right? Which always, I'm used to this. They're part of the crew. They're called spotter pilots, right? They find balls of fish. They put the skippers who employ them on the fish so they can go do their thing. And I'm like, I should be doing that. It's like a beautiful morning, very sunny. I'm getting beat up down in the ocean. I'm like, this guy's making more than me. I should be doing that, right? So I was living in Bellevue at the time, Bellevue, Washington, got done fishing in Bellevue, and I was like, let's take some flight lessons. Weather was horrendous. For like a 2-3 month stretch, I'm like, where can I go where I can actually like get up in the air, And I'm like, maybe Phoenix. I knew of Phoenix because one of my good friends went to ASU. Had a couple friends there and a couple friends at NAU. So I would come down to Phoenix just to soak up the sun while I was going to school in miserable Pacific Northwest weather. So I was like, man, always sunny and nice there. I'd call my buddy, like, what do you think? He's like, get down here. I was like, I'm doing it. Packed up the truck, moved down here, started flying out of the Scottsdale airport, Cessna 170, and got like 12 hours doing that until I had to go back up to fish again. Fishing became not as lucrative as it was. Price was lower and less salmon. So I was like, well, I've got to figure out something, if I'm going to pay for these lessons. I eventually found real estate, started, I got my license in like just over a month, I think. And this is when you had to go in person. Yeah. So I'm like, I read this little notebook, going to all the in-person classes, checking them off. And once I started real estate, I just never looked back. I was like, I have no reason to get a pilot's license. I think I found, what I want to do. And then proceeded to get my ass kicked for a few years and made it out the other side. And now I'm here.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
That is.
Kind of wild, right?
It's so what was it like growing up in like rural Alaska like that? Like that that fascinates me, and it's really funny, like the timing of this, because my son, he turns 5 next week, and he's obsessed with this YouTube channel called The Outdoor Boys. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've seen it. Yeah.
He's like obsessed. You would be so proud of Beckham. Like, basically, this dad just takes his boys like on fishing and hunting trips, and like that's Beckham's like favorite thing to watch right now.
Millions of views.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
So like, just the timing of this, because like we watched an episode last night before bed. And like, 'cause that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He's like, can we watch?
Dude, people are obsessed with it. And when I see clips of like the Outdoor Boys, I'm definitely like, oh yeah, like that looks like a muskeg I used to run around in, right?
Yeah.
Like muskeg is what we call the marshy area. So it's just super special, man. Like, and you definitely take it for granted when you're in it, you know? But I knew, because I had the perspective of like going and seeing family and whatnot, and I knew that we were in like a special situation.
Yeah.
I also kind of lamented a little bit like not being able to play football. We didn't have hockey. We didn't have a golf course. We had to go to the next town over to go play golf, and you're in the mud over there anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, I probably I didn't focus, but like I thought about that stuff too much, like what we, you know, oh man, we're missing out on stuff. But like the normal day-to-day is the most special thing you could think of, because you're in this weird place that's like one of the last untouched wildernesses where we go out and like go hiking or hunting, explore, whatever. We don't have to pay a toll to go into this park. We're not like, it's just you, baby. It's you and like an abundance of bears and like things that could kill you, right?
Yeah.
So it's just super special. Like there's an awe-inspiring beauty that you're always around, you know, that like just kind of gets ingrained in you. And I didn't even realize I was experiencing it until you see other things like that, right? So like driving into Sedona, I'm like, whoa, like it strikes me, right? Yeah. And I took my mom to Sedona too, and she had the same reaction. Like, and I totally get it now. There's something
super special place.
Yes, exactly. There's something about it. So, I mean, man, we could just like whenever we wanted, it's like, okay, grab the rifle, we're going hunting. Okay, get on the quad, we're gonna go rip around. Like we had that freedom, you know, and like. As far as being like a kid, you know, hanging with friends and whatnot, like we had all kinds of rock quarries and camping spots and stuff all over the island. We'd go have bonfires. Like our normal Saturday night party was a big bonfire. And like we lived out the road, right? Like I say out the road because there's one road. And I lived the farthest out the road of anybody because we were at the fish hatchery, and that's 17 miles out. But it's like, I swear, like driving that highway, this is bad, but sometimes I would like kind of just like space out at mile 6 and be like, oh, I'm at 10 mile now. What's going on? He's just like, you know, you just remember it. You're just kind of in autopilot. But yeah, and that the whole small town thing is like really special too. You know, you they make you feel so special. Like we won a state championship in basketball, and we come home and they have a fire truck waiting for us at the airport, and we're going around town in this
page
fire
of the newspaper.
So of course, we're going around town in this fire truck, and everyone's outside of their houses. Hey, good job, boy! You know, like it's a super special thing. Like, so I feel so lucky to have that upbringing, and now be in the situation I'm in, because I love living in the city. I love having amenities. You know, like. Comparatively for like a crewman up in Alaska, like I'm like a pretty boy bitch, you know. I'm a pretty decent crewman because I've acquired those skills, and you know I'm a pretty good cook, so I can bring that to the table. But like comparatively to like some of these guys I've been around, you know, just like they're like, what's he wearing, like Nikes? What do you know, what's wrong with you? And it's like I've always kind of been in that middle ground, you know. It's like I can do both kind of thing. And
it's like it takes a special kind of person that's dedicated. And so I go to Alaska a couple times a year.
Nice.
You know, we do king salmon. We do a really awesome fly fishing trip there.
Awesome.
I mean, that one's so awesome and remote. It's like, except for this year, like I got off the plane and Verizon had reception, and I'm like, damn it. I'm like, I loved my best excuses, like, sorry, I can't take calls unless I'm at the lodge, right? You know, and it's like, you know, when I say lodge, that's like an overstatement, because these are literally tough sheds on the river, on the Naknek River. Right?
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. So I've never even, so that's like Kenai Peninsula stuff. I've never even been to the Kenai Peninsula. I would love to.
So a couple of my guides are from Sitka and a couple other areas and stuff. And it's just like, they love what they do, but they love being in that atmosphere. I remember one time one of my guides was, he had been bull moose hunting and like skunked for like 7 days and then started with us. And we literally pull over to the side of the shore to use the restroom, and it's like, and this bull moose comes out of the woods and you could just see his face like, I'm like, don't do it.
He's tempted. He's tempted. Yeah.
I'm like, no, we're not going to spend the day chasing this moose. Like, we're going to chase some rainbows.
Right.
But Matthew, I drug his butt up to Alaska this year.
Good man.
You'd never been. What did you think?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yes.
We could have used the spotting plane on that river because I got skunked the first 3 days while Matt was just pulling them in left and right.
What are you catching mostly? Like grayling? Is there?
We're after steelhead.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You got some steelhead running through there. That's one of the best fights you'll have. Those steelhead are strong.
Really close to Homer.
Yeah.
On a really awesome river that we're not allowed to talk about.
I get it.
I don't want anybody to know about it.
Yeah,
but like, it's turquoise. It's beautiful. The drift's about a half day. You can do it twice if you want.
Oh, it's so cool.
In this place where it'd been a while. It'd been like 3 years since I've been up there, but they actually got a house on the river with like 8 bedrooms and an outhouse area and like a whole guide's quarters. And I'm like, we're on the river. This is incredible.
Right.
Usually it's like a 30-minute drive to any kind of good fishing spot.
It's so nice.
But I just know that I go there and I love it. But usually around day 7, I'm kind of like, I wish there was a Chick-fil-A here.
There you go. So now you're getting to the crux of my life. Yeah. I remember one time, man, I think it was my senior year, walking from our main school building to the shop. And it was like, I think it was May. It was like after it was May, it started snowing. And I was like, oh, baby, I can't wait to get out of here. I was like, I can't wait to go somewhere. And so then I ended up going to school in Bellingham, Washington, which is essentially the same weather. Right?
Yeah.
But both those, the cost of living in both those cities are pretty high, but Alaska is a whole different level.
Yes.
Like, I couldn't believe, a 18 pack of beer is like $100.
Dude, it's like, insane. Yeah. Milk, $47.
Yeah.
Like, it's that island life, you know? And it's like, we were lucky to have produce at all. But our produce was usually not very high quality. So we have, the ferry system, luckily, where Chelan, Washington, they had a company that would fill trucks and send them up on the ferry, and they called it Chelan Produce. And like my mom would put an order a couple weeks ahead of time, and they had good produce. But yeah, really hard to access. And it's funny you're saying like how abundant the fish are. The most I've ever experienced like that is this remote lake in Atlin, which is in BC, Canada, right? So we go across the border a lot to just go explore BC and the Yukon territories. And so we were in this town of Atlin, and my grandpa goes, hey, so I heard this lake. It's called the King Salmon Lake, and it's a few miles out here. This guy's going to like fly us out. We got a cabin. Like, okay, cool. I'm picturing a lake with like, cabins all around and whatever. There are 2 cabins on this lake, right? And we're in
take
one.
An airplane in?
Yeah,
float plane.
Yeah, float plane in, and there's a skiff with a little like 10 horse ready for us, little like Evinrude, and so it's just me and my buddy Cody and my grandpa. My grandpa takes a nap right away in the shed, and we just rip the skiff out. Every other cast, rainbow. Wow. Big rainbows. Like the smallest one we caught was
more like 30?
Smallest we caught was like 12 inches, and the biggest one we got in was like 24.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's where we had bigger ones on. That just got out. Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. Like, you don't think about it, but it makes sense. These untouched places stocked.
Well, and that's, transitioning a little bit more towards the real estate side of the conversation. It's like, that's what I love about our industry too. It's like clockwork. It's like you book the trip, right? And then you get busy. Right, the day you leave, everything goes under contract, and everybody wants to write an offer, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then while you're there, like crazy stuff goes down in the way of like business. And we saw that. It was probably my favorite thing to see Matthew like fly fishing up the river, like 200 yards from the boat, and I hear his phone ringing in the boat and shaking like nonstop because I'm closer to the boat.
Yeah.
And, it rang nonstop for 4 hours, and Matt's just out there just chilling, fly fishing, enjoying
this is
life.
How a DB
and it's like,
fly fishes.
Well, and it's like, everybody needs to. You need to get out of town. You need to check out. You need to unplug. You need that time, and it's just so therapeutic. But so many agents, I mean, like they'll just go to like California or they'll go to Florida or this and that. But I mean, like outside of the United States, there's so many amazing places to go. And even in the United States, I mean, like we have a Steelhead River in Idaho that's just so productive with a big B-run 36-inch. One of our guys caught a 40-inch steelhead, which is all different work. But it's just like you have to go visit these places. And then once you do, you kind of get a little bit drawn in.
Oh, that's for sure.
Totally. That's so funny. That reminded me of, and it's like, it's the big thing in real estate too. It's like, oh, you want some business? Go out of town, you know? And I remember one time early in my career, probably 3 years or something, I had like the most business under contract that I had ever had under contract. Yeah. And the wife and I are in Greece. And it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, hey, so what's going on? What's going on with that Binzer? And my wife's like, I'm going to kill you. What are you doing? And I'm like, sorry, I have business. And I remember my assistant being like so overwhelmed. She was like, hey, please don't plan a vacation like this while you have business ever again. And I'm like, excuse me? I had this booked months and months ago. You don't tell me what it was so stressful for a minute, but everything worked out. It was all good. But that really, and then I actually had to have an agent help me out while I was out there. And that guy became like one of my go-tos to help me while I was out of town. This is before I like had an actual team of agents. So those situations bring good things too.
Well, and it's just that natural evolution. I mean, we joke around it. But, I mean, well, you were you at the Christmas party this year?
No, I didn't. We joined that day.
Okay. So, like last year's Christmas party, like RETSY likes to do a really nice Christmas party. PV Country Club, full spread, great food, great drinks, like premium everything. Because we want to put on something great for our agents, but then every year we give a gift, right? And last year's gift was like an away luggage. Bag. And the whole idea was like, I'm like,
got a backpack.
Oh, you got, okay. So
it's too nice to dangle in front of me. I gotta take it.
I'm like, but the away luggage, it's like people were texting me from all over the world with their bag that RETSY gave them, and I'm like, yes, taking vacations makes your business go up, right?
Yes.
So I think we complemented it with the away backpack.
Yep.
I mean, we analyzed every type of luggage out there. Away is hands down the best. I ordered a Monos and an Away. The Monos one's already failed.
Yeah.
So, like, Away is, like, great, though. You break a bag or you crack a wheel or anything, you send them a picture, they send you a brand new bag.
I bet. Yeah. So I've been looking at them forever. It's just like,
this is not a commercial for Away, but, like, big
we're about to make it one, right? Like, I've been looking at them, like, or I can just get this, I think it's called a Banj. Like, it's a Amazon brand for, like, $45. I'm like, oh, I'll just do that. But, like, the Away is the superior product all day. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, I need one of those.
It's like, how do we encourage our agents to travel more and take more trips and
I love
see the world? And not only that, but I mean, like a lot of our agents, I mean, they'll set meetings with like one of our Forbes affiliates. And I know I met with the Forbes affiliate in Barcelona. Yeah. And then, I mean, it's just like, depending on the city, they don't have them in every city, but all the major hubs like Florence, they had a hub in Lake Como. They have a really great brokerage over there. But like when you're traveling, like you should go out of your way to take one of them out to lunch, make that connection.
100%.
And it just builds that network and brings a business component to travel.
Yes.
Which is always good.
Like a fun one, because you're just out, like you're grabbing a beer with another, real estate professional. Like that's what intrigued me so much about the Forbes thing too, is because I really do want to make this thing global, right? It's like, so we already have a foot in the door because not only like, I remember talking with Blake St. John at one of his listings in Scottsdale Country Club, like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. And he was trying to get me to come over to Christie's, I think at that time. Was he at Christie's?
Yeah, he was with Walt and Christie's back in the Christie's heyday.
Which I did come over to Christie's eventually, but not right after that. But I remember being so impressed with him being like, oh yeah, he's like, and it's cool, we have a long reach. Like I just closed a deal in Tel Aviv a couple weeks ago. I'm like, man, that's really cool. That is, and I remember thinking he had the type of business that I was trying to strive for, where like he told me at least, he got all of his business and all his listings from just like playing golf at Scottsdale Country Club, just like, that's why real estate is so cool. You just need to find your groove.
Yeah. And not only that, but one of our amazing agents, Connie Cola, she's got a house in Italy. I forget which coast it's on, just drawing a blank, but she's told me probably 10 times. But, she established herself there for a couple months out of the year. And like all of a sudden people are coming to her and be like, I see your marketing videos. I see all the stuff she does. And she's just an amazing, she used to be a newscaster and cool. So she's so goddamn good on video.
Yeah.
So now she's listing properties over there and co-listing with our Forbes affiliate over there. So it's like she brings the marketing reach and the presence, and then it's just amazing the opportunities you can have. Plus, it's like it's beautiful over there. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Which coast is she on?
I don't know. When you were saying that, I was trying to remember, but I don't.
It's in Italy.
So
it's one that I haven't been to yet. But anyways, we'll think of it later.
Well, so is she on Amalfi? Is she down the Amalfi
Amalfi
coast?
coast.
Oh, dude,
That's where she is.
Yeah, we're trying to get there ASAP for sure.
Yeah.
That looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Barcelona is a great city too.
I
Which
love Barcelona.
I have to take my wife there.
That's where I got this watch. Is
Oh,
Barcelona.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
It is such a cool city, man. Yeah. Las Ramblas at night can get a little sketchy, but have you been to Madrid yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing city, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. And that's, I think I saw a couple days ago, you had a slogan, some kind of RETSY slogan that was like, enjoy what you've earned or something.
Experience what you've earned.
Yes.
We
so
kind of borrowed that from Forbes Global Property.
It's
We'll
a
take
Forbes.
We pay a lot
it's
to
good.
use those words. So.
Yeah.
But that, like, along with the bag initiative, that you're buying for the gift, like, I couldn't love that more. It's like, it's so easy to get caught in this bubble of like, no, I need to be here. What if someone needs me? And it's like, well, I need you to build your business in a way that you can delegate a little bit because you're not going to be effective if you don't enjoy your time. It's like, yeah, we work really hard. We have to. Like, and it feels good and it's rewarding and our clients reap the benefits. You're not going to be operating at your best level unless you relax a little bit, go see some stuff. I mean, the value of perspective is like so underrated, I feel. It's like, that's why you travel and go look at other things. You get this perspective of like, oh, things are different over here. Yeah. I mean, America's the best country in the world. Like, I agree. Like, we're a fantastic country. So proud to be from here. But go see some other countries who have it together as well. And like,
Switzerland.
Oh man,
cow.
Switzerland is so nice. Yeah. Lake Geneva area. Yeah. Oh man, Iceland. Like these random places you wouldn't guess, and it's like people are so happy there, and they run a tight ship. Switzerland's expensive, but it is super nice.
We did a Switzerland trip, and then I think this was on our Italy trip. We actually went up to Lake Como, and that's where I just kind of realized like this is the most beautiful place on earth.
Oh my god, they're so bad.
And the food there is amazing, and it's like they grow their own gardens in the back of these restaurants, so like everything's fresh, no preservatives. Like, I mean, I ate like crazy, and I don't think I put on a pound over there. I don't know what that means, but it just means that like I don't know, maybe the preservatives. And you want to hear the craziest thing?
That's what it is. Yeah.
We went for a whole month, so like we were eating at nice restaurants, good food. There's no preservatives in the food. It's like I don't know, even like the wine is like it tastes better, and I kind of feel like you don't get that weird 2 o'clock in the morning heart racing feeling after drinking a couple glasses of wine, but. What blew me away the most is so we get back into town. It's like 10 o'clock at night. We're starving. Kelly DoorDashes Taco Bell.
Yes. Oh, that speaks to my heart.
I crushed 2 soft tacos, and I was sick for 4 days.
No way.
Yeah. Like my body just was like, what do you do?
Wow. Yeah, that's on you. No way Taco Bell got to you. No, they're too good. No, their standards too high. Yeah. I've only been to Rome, which is like, only Rome. Like a great city, and like seeing the Colosseum and all the Vatican stuff, like amazing. But like Italy's huge, and I need to see Amalfi. I need to see Lake Como. I think Lake Garda is another big one up there too. Like
we got a whole list. We have my wife's best friend is amazing at getting us out of our comfort box and traveling to different places. Like this year we're going to Germany. But we take the kids get out of school. You got about a month before the East Coast schools get out of school. So you leave, right? You have a really good team in place to handle your business. You're there, you get early morning calls and late night calls, and that's part of like doing business over there. And my wife is amazing. She knows if I gotta take a call, she knows I have to take a call.
Right.
Because otherwise I wouldn't take it.
Exactly.
Like somebody from our team would field it and handle the problem from solution to end. But in doing so, I mean, this is why I love this industry so much, is it gives you the freedom to do that. When you have a very good team in place, and you're connected anywhere, right? Like, I mean, shit, now I'm even connected in King Salmon, Alaska. That used to be my release of hey, I'm off the grid for a week. But they don't have internet, but they have bars on the phone for Verizon.
Which is
I can
crazy.
get calls, but that said, it's just like you can go anywhere, and this industry gives you that freedom.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean that you can't work. Like usually when I'm on the phone, it's like it's a situation my team can't figure out, right? Or like there's a problem, or there needs to be a call made, and it's like, and you can do that from there. You can do it from anywhere. Like Chrissy's my right hand person, always has been, and she's like, so am I supposed to be in the office? Like 9? I'm like, no, like you can be anywhere you want as long as you get it done.
Exactly.
And I think there's like one time I called on her, I needed something. She's like, I'm in Philadelphia. I'm like, okay, well, I'll take care of this one.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, like that's just it though. She could have been in California, Philadelphia, and still working, and just because we're in such a day and age where it's like you hardly even. I remember like I go to these home tours and I meet agents that I've done like 3 or 4 deals with, and I've never seen them face to face.
Totally.
Totally.
Yeah.
So
yeah, isn't that wild too? Like, you've spoken with someone a bunch of times. It's like, oh, it's you. Yeah, that is wild how that happens. But
all right, so let's get into more of like the real estate. We got the
into
background.
the nitty gritty.
Yeah, we're already 30 minutes in, so it's
we're cooking.
Yeah. So newer to RETSY.
Brand new.
Tell me the story. I mean, you obviously went out, looked at brokerages.
Yes.
What attracted you to us? Like, what did you like about it? And, And I mean, you just started onboarding, so like you're in the middle of that process.
Totally.
So,
yeah, I'm in it, baby. Someone was like, it's like drinking from a fire hose. That's what everyone says when you're onboarding. I'm like, no. I've seen the fire hose. This is not quite that. This is very smooth. And I know one of the topics was like, name a transaction that was like a big break or whatever. And it's like, I can think of that exact moment. So RETSY came about after a series of events, basically. One of the big moments I can remember, like a pivotal moment, it's not one transaction, but I was with JK Realty in Gilbert, and they're on the 5th floor of the Rome Tower there. So go up to the top, and you're parking in this parking garage, and then walking across a bridge to the office. And I came out to my car like after a day and sitting in there, called my mom, and I was crying. I was bawling like a baby because I'm like, I needed some money from her and I feel terrible asking. And, it's like, I feel like a failure in that moment. But I remember telling her, I was like, I feel like I'm right on that cusp of like having success and I can't give it up. Like, I'm not going to give up now. It's like that meme of like the miners, they're
just like right there.
Exactly. Guys right by gold and the other guy's packing it in. And I'm like, I feel like I'm there. And then like a month later, I'm up in that same spot in the parking lot taking a picture, like a selfie, and being like, 3 inspections today, like it did just materialize that time. I knew I had the right formula when I was there. It's just like, come on, baby. So I was paying for Zillow leads when I was there to build my book of business in Casa Grande, in Eloy, in Arizona City, all the most beautiful cities. And just doing a good amount of transactions down there, right? So that's how I kind of built up the book, and then I could afford better Zillow leads. And then I'm grandfathered into the Flex program. So ended up having a team of agents under me at my home group doing Zillow Flex. And that was when I did a cross transaction with the lovely and talented Julie Rohr off of Vaquero in Gainey. And man, we just I was so impressed, by her professionalism. And, you look at her social media and I'm like, okay, this is the agent I'm building towards. This is what I want to do, And she's so cool. And she was just like, keep me posted on what you do. Like, let me know. Would love to work with you at some point. And I'm like, it's so cool. So she was at Christie's at that time. Mm-hmm. And I ended up going to Christie's right after she had left for RETSY, I believe. Yeah. Because Greg Rimmers sat me down. Yeah. Greg sat me down. Like I had a meeting with him before, and I was like, we're crushing it over here at MHG, but I appreciate it. He sat me down at a time that was like Zillow was going like this. They had the iBuyer program going, and they were in a tailspin. And all of a sudden, all of our leads became $20,000 lot listings in Maricopa. And I kept being like, hey, we don't do that. We don't do land. We're not. And like, well, it's just what we have to send you. Okay, well, don't send me those. Like, my agents will handle $250K and over or whatever. Just give us some actual transactions. They couldn't handle it at that time, so I was like, okay, maybe it's time to make that step up and go to a luxury brokerage. Like I have a lot of reverence for Walt Danley. Christie's is a cool, one of those cool auction house brokerages. So I was like, yeah, let me do this. Went to Christie's, fantastic operation. Walt literally handed me a $4 million listing in Gilbert because I was the Gilbert guy, right? And like, that's awesome. He's like, I'll take 25%, The listing ended up not actually getting listed because this guy was something else. And like, we had to redo the home, and he essentially was like, well, tell the contractor he can go ahead and start whenever. And I'm like, okay, well, they need half up front. And then and he's like, oh, no, never. just tell them to start. Doesn't work like that, man, right?
Yeah.
So, but it was so cool having that opportunity. And I'm like, okay. So I can kind of see how this works. Well, a month or two after that, we had a conference call and they announced local absorbing Christie's. So,
I heard these stories.
I was not impressed. It's just like, we were not informed on this at all. It's like, okay, and this is going to happen in like a week. And we're like, what, dude? So yeah, it snuck up on us and we went to launch from there, which was another, where I'm like, very cool. Like, I have a lot of respect for this brand. Like, let's build it out at launch. This is awesome. A couple months later, announcement comes that Compass is absorbing them, right? So we're like, oh man, like it's just not what we signed up for. I'm not against Compass. I'm not against local. It's just not what we signed up for, right? So from there, I ended up going to Real. And from Real, so I was going to build out what I called the elevated collective at Real, which was just like a big team of agents and that, obviously builds your downline. And then we meet, once a week or whatever virtually. You can be anywhere in the nation. And, I provide value to you. In the meantime, I saw that space had a job opening for vice president of sales is what they were calling it originally. So went and interviewed with them because, I've always liked what they did in the background. And I was like, man, I could either start from scratch and build this thing out that I was going to, or just join a team that's already going the direction that I wanted to go anyway, So took that. So I ended up there. And then eventually with space, so I met Jake and I was like, I brought him on as a partner because I'm like, he's sharp. He's local. He came from commercial, so this is a cakewalk to him. Like him making cold calls in residential is like, he loves it, man, because commercial is just, they'll take your soul in certain places, like no fun. So brought him on, and we started cooking so hard with our real estate side of the business that it just became a choice of like, where are our listings best served? And, nothing against LPT. I just know that that wasn't the place, that they were best served.
When you're the biggest fish in the fishbowl and there's 8,000 other fish, it's like, what do you, Exactly. Well, I don't know if they're that big, but I mean, I know like those brokerage models that are just like hire anybody that can fog a mirror, build your downline. They're so focused on recruiting agents, they've completely forgotten how to service agents.
Yes.
So
yes,
and the clients.
Yes.
Because it all reflects on the agent. The client gets a negative experience, or like it's just different. Like when you're at RETSY and your client sends you an ad that's on your house that you didn't even know we were running for you. It's like it's different.
Exactly. And you nailed it on the head. I prefer to be a small fish in a big, right? Because like coming from a background of like leadership, you start to learn you're not an effective leader if you're not constantly growing, right? So it's like, I need to be learning. Like, Jake and Jan on my team, I impart wisdom and knowledge on them and experience. That's cool. They also teach me things, it's like, because I'm very open. I have to be open. As a leader, I have to be open to that. And they'll bring up stuff that I didn't even think of. And like, that's the value of collaboration too. So we're constantly learning and then being surrounded by people like you guys, people like Julie, Libby, I mean, Alex Smith, like that fires me up. I love that, right? Because it's like we see so far because we stand on the shoulders of giants, right? So now I can pick these people's brains and see exactly what creates the path that I want. So the biggest thing and honestly, okay, so we were like, where are our listings best served? I have a good relationship with Sean and Compass. So I'm like, we could probably just go back there. They have a really good luxury network. I love their off-market stuff. Their systems are more dialed in. Probably go back to Compass. That was kind of the plan. And like I was telling you, like, Sean and I, our communication is spotty, right? Like he's a very busy man. It's like, tough to get a hold of him.
He was busy when I was at launch. We had 800 agents.
Right.
He had 100 agents. Now he's got 800.
Right. I mean, the fact that
he's a down-to-earth, really good, cares about people, works his ass off over there. So.
Yes. You guys kind of
respect for him.
Yes.
So.
You guys kind of remind me of each other, where it's like, just like even keel, like there's a lot of ego in this industry. So that's why I always liked him too. And it was just like, but him, like, and he would text me like, hey man, I want to get together. And be like, okay, cool. What's next week look like for you? And then nothing. Right. So it's like, and that's just kind of indicative of I'm much more, I'll say it a million times, quality over quantity, right? Like I like a smaller boutique as compared to like a bigger model, which I was kind of hearing from some of the people in Compass that like, we don't really like how big time it is now, Yeah. And it's all what you make it. But I just like had a thought one day that I was like, well, what about RETSY? Like, should we even look into, like, to me, RETSY is like upper echelon, So like I had to like give myself permission to be like, yeah, just look into it, man. So I text Julie. Julie gets back to me within 5 minutes. She goes, hey, we're at our partner retreat in Cabo right now, but I'll get something set up. Like, she's texting me from Cabo. She's on the beach, just like, dude, she...
Just so when Julie's in Cabo, it's J-Row.
Yeah, right? J-Row. Yeah, let's go. J-Row's hit me up from the beach. She's got a pina colada. Dude, yeah, I was... And I've always just had so much respect for her. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let's... And I didn't know Chris yet, right? So she brought us into the Old Town office, and we sat down, and from there, it's like, I'm looking at Jake, and I'm like, this is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It really is, because all the things that, I liked about Compass and about Launch and about Christie's, pretty much all those details have kind of been combined here. And I'm big on like staying on the forefront of like technology and making sure you don't kind of fall behind the times like some of these luxury firms seem to have. So the technology display and just like, obviously, the way that you create your split in a way that I can tell it's just what you need to make. You're not trying to reach extra, It's like a lot of different things. And what you provide with that is, it blew me out of the water. So,
Well, thank you.
Well, the nice thing about RETSY, too, is everybody's on the same split. If I have an agent that comes to the table that's willing to take less, it's like we don't even really want them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, going back to that, it's like we're seeing a lot of that in this industry, right? And it's like there's a recent acquisition we read about yesterday, and I think you had mentioned something where it's just like, when are these people going to understand you can't buy culture?
Yep.
Right? You can't buy culture. You have to create it. You have to earn it. And then you have to get everybody to subscribe to it, right? And it's got to be the right culture, because then otherwise you don't want to be the party boy culture. You don't want to be the closed door culture. Like, I think we foster a really good environment where, like, you take Alex Smith, for example. He'll call me. He's like, can I pick your brain on this? And I'm like, hey, while you're at it, give Abby Gable a call, because she dealt with the same thing like 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
And it's just like, and then he texts me back. He's like, got everything you need. Love RETSY, thanks. And it's just having that is part of it. Technology is too. I mean, I'll be honest, when I started RETSY, like I knew the Compass tools. They had 3 main tools in their suite, right?
Yep.
And they weren't even really doing pocket listings back then.
Yeah.
So when we built RETSY Connect, the idea was like, I don't want it to be one thing. Like the Compass like bought contactually, right? And that became their CRM or whatever.
Yeah.
But the problem is the product went to crap for everybody else who used it. So then we all dropped contactually, right? But within RETSY, it's like, whatever the best website CRM is, we plug it right in, right? Whatever the best email tool is, we plug it in. And guess what? If that email tool is no longer the best and there's a better, we can unplug it and put a new one in place.
Yes.
And it's just like, you're not stuck in this outdated suite of technology.
Yes.
And so at any given time, there could be some new company whipped up tomorrow. We can implement, because we are a boutique brokerage, we can implement it and roll it out in a time frame that nobody else can do.
Totally.
Like I see the training meetings. We're at the Bond right now. I see that training area, and like name the brokerage. There's like 5 of them that do them in there, right? And it's just like, when we have a rendezvous or a roundup, it's like the room's full, right? But I saw, I'm not going to say the brokerage's name, but there's like 4 people and like one that I actually recognize in the room, and I'm like in their like training people to be like, this is who you email for questions on contracts, and this is who you email when you can't log into the app, and it was just kind of like, I'm like, they're just training at that level. I mean, they've totally kind of missed the boat. But that said, it's like we put a lot of time and effort into culture, technology, and then the support behind the scenes. I mean, we have more support staff per agent than any other brokerage, but also, it's just like, it's interesting. You talked about earlier, like the acquisition of Launch to Compass to North & Co.
Yep.
I mean, in our market, it was kind of like Launch and RETSY were always competing. We were always within 100,000 of the highest average sale price in the Valley.
It seemed like
but by them absorbing North & Co., like their average price went way down. And now we were kind of in this independent ocean of like, we're the highest average sale price in the Valley. We have more production per agent than any other brokerage. I mean, considering the larger brokerages. And it's like, all right, now that we've achieved what we've done, what do we do to be better next year, right?
Yes.
And that's why this year is the focus of like geographic farming, partnerships with agents in different neighborhoods and helping them get that branding. Because, I mean, ultimately, as much as I love AI, it's going to take a lot of jobs and a lot of roles out of this industry.
Big time.
And I think that an agent that goes in and does a geographic farm knows that neighborhood like the back of their hands. Let's say AI takes over completely in the next 8 to 10 years. I mean, those will be the last ones standing because your knowledge base is why your client hires you.
Totally.
They know more about the house before you even pull up than you do.
Yes.
Like they've already done all the research on Zillow, on Realtor.com. They've pulled background check. Like they've pulled
100%.
everything on it. So it's like they're looking to you to be like, Casey, is this a good street? And like, what do you know about it? And that's the expertise you bring. And I think that the moves RETSY's making this year to make our agents better, rather than grow our agent count, make our agents sell more. That sounds better. How's that?
Just music to my ears,
it's like,
man.
And some of the initiatives we're working on and putting in place, and we're close. I mean, it used to take years to get things implemented in past brokerages I was at. And it's like in this stuff, like I can get Sydney on a call and Darian on a call and Matt on a call and be like, all right, here's this new vendor. And it's like we have like a 45-day rollout. Like that's unheard of in companies.
Right.
But yeah, we're really excited about that for this year. But going back to, you know, your initial move, I mean, because you've been with a lot of brokerages, you've seen a lot of different things.
Yes.
Maybe we should do the 90-day follow-up podcast.
I was just going to say, I better come back in and give an update for sure. And I do have a kind of a unique perspective because I've been with every type of brokerage, right? So I started out normal boutique in Tempe. I've been with Keller Williams. You know, I've been with the big box and also luxury. So I've seen what's out there, and I know exactly what does best for my business, and that's just providing quality, man. Like I'm so, you know, I think everyone should think like this, but maybe the quantity works for some people rather than what's next, which it's a balance because we do need to say what's next. We do need to have multiple in escrow at all times, of course. But our clients should feel like they're our only clients. We should do our best to make them feel like they're our only clients, right? And I've worked with people in the past, like lenders especially, that go, oh, hey, I'm so sorry. You know, I had these other files I was buried in. That's why I ghosted you for 5 hours or whatever. And I'm like, do not ever do that. They try to get hold of you. You're busy. That's fine. Shoot them a text. Hey, I'll call you back at this time.
Back in 30.
Or I was with the kids. Sorry, I was with the kids. I want nothing more than for you to be spending all the time with your kids. That's the number one mission of what we do, you know, in this business is to create free time for ourselves. That's great. Send a text. Do not ghost people for a day. Send them a text. Hey, I'm with the kids. I'll call you back. They'll understand. Right?
A lot of people don't realize in their iPhone they can go in and edit the automated text when a call doesn't come in.
Exactly.
I had to edit one of mine the other day. I think it was either Fry or Peter. One of my automatic texts are like, hey, I'm tied up right now. Can I call you back in 15 minminutes? And they're like, what are you and Kelly into?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little bonded currently.
I'm like, okay. Maybe tied up is the wrong word to text.
This is so funny.
But like, as long as people know you're going to call them back and they acknowledge that, it's kind of like it buys you buffer to be able to call them back.
Yes, and they deserve that.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, even with our company and growth and everything, it's just like putting in systems to make things more efficient. Like before our podcast, I showed you version 2.0 of the QR code software. This is designed to save our marketing team so much time, but give more transparency to our agents, right? At the end of the day, it serves two purposes to make us more efficient in our amount of support staff per agent.
Yes, you and I are nerding out about it. I love that so much. It's that whole technology, and I came, you know, we use QR codes on the blast brokerage signs as well, but it wasn't like we had a system where it would go to an agent rather than the listing agent, right? So it's like, here's a buyer opportunity from one of the signs. But I had to nip that in the bud and be like, we need these going to listing agents because they care, right? Like as listing agents, we're thinking about it 24/7. A lead comes in on that, we're hitting them up right away. Just some agent who it's not their listing, they might put that off. And now we're losing an opportunity, right? So I'm all about the QR code system, but it just needs to be efficient. And another thing we would run into is someone scans the sign, it's a listing 80 miles away represented by someone else because it wasn't updated, right? Use the same signs, you have to update the QR. And I'm like, that just sets us back, right? Like the image of efficiency is huge to me. And it's like, you know, everyone's going to make mistakes, of course, but you want to be as buttoned up as possible. And like, to me, I've been hearing a lot in the last couple of years of like, we're going to revolutionize the industry. I'm going to flip the industry on its face. I don't see a need for that. I'd rather think of it as optimizing what's already here, like to the greatest extent. I think the system that's in place works. Like things don't need to be flipped upside down, but it's a constant grind to optimize your business and make sure you're staying on top of technology, just being a good agent in general, communication-wise. It's constant evolution.
Well, it's just like in being that source of news and data for your clients. And I mean, like if your clients are getting their real estate news from the news, it's too broad. Like, I mean, on our rendezvous calls we have every Tuesday, the amazing Bradley Opitz. I mean, he's basically like a PhD in economy and probably is, but I mean.
No, he won't take,
he won't take credit. He always underplays it, but like, he gives us what we need to communicate to our clients. And I'm challenging our agents this year with the Geographic Farming Initiative.
Yes.
Of like, you have the best email tool in the world. You send out an email to your clients. You can see who opened it, how many times they opened it, what links they clicked on.
Totally.
Like, and basically that's your call list for follow-up.
Yeah.
You know, it's
starts
like
a conversation.
when we do a price drop on something, what did I do? The price drop on that Del Sud property. And then it's like I immediately go to the email, went to 2,000, agents and people that are past client sphere, Arcadia Living, all that stuff. And then, the first 8 people on the list are people that I know really well. And 2 of them are past clients of mine I didn't even know were thinking about selling. So
great.
It's just like, of course, I reach out to them like, hey, Graham, you opened the email 11 times.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Come on now.
Like, shoot it to me straight. Like, but it just starts conversations for more business. But also what I was getting at is like, communicating the data for those specific neighborhoods to those clients so that when they're like, when I want to get news for this, I go to this AI source. When I want to get news for real estate, I look out for Casey's emails, and it's like, and if you give them relevant information and they're getting relevant information on their neighborhood, because like take Arcadia or McCormick Ranch or Silverleaf, right? Like the market in Silverleaf doesn't reflect anything that's on the news, right?
Right.
But if you live in Silverleaf, is anybody providing that data? Right? I mean, I live in Arcadia. We have probably like 120 agents that specialize in that neighborhood. A couple of them do it well, but nobody's mastered it.
Exactly. So. Yep. So true. Yeah, it's important. And I think just in general, like, so now what I'm extra focusing on is like, so these neighborhoods that we love to work in, right? Legend Trail is one of them. So I'm like, Jake, every week, a couple times a week, we just need to pull up Legend Trail inventory. Like, just know what's going on around, which I didn't specifically really do before because I was working all the neighborhoods, right? But if we're going to pinpoint some of our favorites and we want to be the foremost experts there, we need to know what's going on with that neighborhood at all times. Specifically, where are these listings? When did they come on the market? Because then it happens all the time. You're talking to someone, in that neighborhood, open house, whatever. Oh yeah, that one off 64th down here. They're like, okay, this guy's tuned in. Just little details like that.
Like you have to know like the back of your hand. I think Legend Trail should be your geofarm.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and I mean, so a lot of people that know Matthew and I know that we long time ago I did coaching with Tom Ferry, partnered with Tom to create a company called Geographic Farm. Matthew essentially ran the sales department and was like a key component in it. He went to every Tom Ferry event, traveled, worked with over 2,000 top producing agents and doing farms. So it's like we know a little bit about geographic farming, but we also know the pain points for agents because they get so busy that they can't get stuff done and consistency falls off and then they get slow. So in order to get usually their business goes like this. This year I'm trying to get it to go like this.
Yes.
Make it more consistent. But we've got it pretty well dialed in, I feel like, to where literally the cards will be designed, set, they approve the proof, it charges their credit card and we're in a partnership with our agents. So
that's awesome.
RETSY's going to pay for the printing, agents are going to pay for the postage.
Perfect.
And it just goes out, right? And you don't have to think twice about it. Your list is already in there, deduped, CAS certified, everything's set and ready. But what we found is agents that try to DIY the system for 3 months came back to geographicfarm.com. And by the way, we're out of our non-compete. So I know what you're thinking, right? The broker, Matt's like, we signed a non-compete. I'm like, that was only 5 years. But
nice.
But anyways, we're not competing with them because we're only doing it for the RETSY agents, right?
Right.
But the consistency, they would do it themselves and then they just fall off and they'd be really inconsistent. So then they just come to us and be like, we'll pay the premium and we'll just do it. And that's how Geographic Farm made money. We took care of it and made it simple and automated the process. A lot of it was glorified babysitting of agents. Hey, I know you said you wanted a new headshot. Can you send that over? And it's like, they don't even have their photo shoot scheduled. But so it's just like pushing them to get it out. But, you know, you got them to like month 3 and they were like a little hesitant. Like, hey, I'm not getting anything from my mailers. And then it's like month 6, it's like, oh, I got my first listing. And by month 8, it's like they didn't want to quit. Like, it works so well.
Yeah.
And, you know, so we're taking a lot of what we learned there and just taking the best pieces out, the best call to actions, simplifying it, getting stuff in the mail every month for the agents and making it as simple as possible. I look at RETSY as like, you know, like name a brokerage that has over 500. None of them can do that, you know, but we can and make our agents better.
Correct.
So,
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It really,
and the designs are awesome.
Yes.
The content's good.
Yes.
It's like the way we have it set up, it's going to be pretty incredible.
I mean, I'm doing my Christmas cards from a template that you guys provided. That's beautiful. It's going to look so good. And then, you know, I won't get carpal tunnel. I send digitally and then, you know, follow up with a personalized text too. Like these little things go such a long way for someone who runs their business like me, right? Where like I want everything to be on point. I know nothing's ever going to be perfect, but I want it to be close to that, right? So the fact that you guys just take the initiative of sending things out on our behalf is like, that's wonderful. It takes so much mental capacity out of like, yes, of course I want that. So if we can just be, you know, clockwork with it.
It's one email. You got to approve it. And like, here's your just listed cards. And here's the addresses they're going to. You submit it. We take care of everything and we pay for everything.
That's excellent.
And you're just sold cards. Like, but here's the irony. You'd be surprised. Some agents get busy and you have to chase them down. Be like, can you approve this proof, please?
Sure.
Can you approve this proof?
I bet.
Because it's like the marketing team, they can look at it a million times. I mean, we probably sent out 30 or 40 postcards in the last year, and there's one QR code that wasn't connected.
Really?
I'm just like, hey, did you guys do that? Like, we were about to. We didn't expect you to respond to the email in 10 minutes. You're usually like a three-hour response.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's like that's about as simple as you can make it. I mean, you actually have to tell our marketing team, I don't want a postcard on this if you don't want it to go out. Which that actually happens. Like we had an agent that was doing like she took a listing in Anthem and we sent out the just listed and she got another listing and then we sent out the just sold and she got another listing and all of a sudden she's like, I don't want to do this, and she referred it to another agent.
Too many miles on my car. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, not that like you tend to like start selling in a bubble and then you don't like to leave the bubble. And that's pretty common. So
well, I mean, good for them. If you have that bubble you love, that's fantastic. I've always been like the all over realtor. Like I've closed in Flagstaff. I sold a couple hotels in Pine Top. You know, Tucson, Green Valley, Sedona. I was this close. Like so you know, I'm working on transacting in Sedona.
You know, we have an amazing agent there too. Who you can partner with, Tom Hathwaite.
Okay, cool. I'll get a hold of him. That's awesome. Yes, I'm so stoked on that. And it's like, so I met the chef at Mariposa. This was last summer. We go up there for a month and just stay in an Airbnb. And I was doing open houses up there for some Sotheby's agents. And the Mariposa chef comes in this house and he's like, man, I love this. I need to get a place. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me know if you want to see it again. Hits me up a day later. Hey, can we go back? Bring him back with his girlfriend, and they're looking around. They're like, yeah, like we love this place. It's, you know, 1.4 or something in the village of Oak Creek. Beautiful, like new build. Oh, beautiful. And, you know, I'm there with the Sotheby's agent, Karen. She's awesome. We're like, okay, yeah, we'll make this happen. Paperwork written up, reach out. Hey, you know, you got that pre-qual for me yet? And he's like, oh, yeah, you know, we're working on it. But the next day, ghosted. We've seen this place multiple times. We're about, it's right there for him. The agent's going, hey, are we going to do this? Are we making this happen? I'm like, I thought so. And I had conversations with him prior, like, how's work going? And it was not going well. Like the owner of those restaurants she runs a tight ship, I think. So I think but I was like so bummed. I was just about to break into the Sedona market. So I'm even more motivated now. I'm like, I'm going to start transacting there. But so, and people have told me that since the beginning of my career too. I remember it's people who like never do real estate, but they're like, what's your area? You know, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of open to everywhere right now. I go, and they're like, that's not how you do it. You want to work one neighborhood. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go where the opportunity's at.
Yeah, I mean, you want to have a specialization in an area, so you're the go-to expert for that area.
Right.
But I mean, like the beautiful thing about RETSY is you have so many agents you can partner with. Like if you're listing a home in like Morrison Ranch, for example, like it's probably in your best interest to list it with Mike. You know, like just because it's like he farms there, he knows the area, he knows all the buyers, he's got it.
Yep.
You know, or even do an off-market deal, which is what's great about this company is like we do so many cross-sale transactions and they go so smooth.
Yes.
You know, it's like, but But those are the opportunities you're going to see coming in. I'm kind of like, I feel like I want to open the fire hose a little bit more on you. I'm like, okay, so now that we've talked about this, how are we going to execute on this, and this?
Yes.
I think coming over, it's like, obviously, we provide you with like a beautiful luxury presence site, and they're designing that right now. It's all included. And then when we do the Geographic Farming Initiative, you're going to have to reach out to the email that I send out, because we're only going to do it with about 20 of our agents at first.
Okay.
Dial it in. They're going to be my beta testers. That means you're not allowed to bitch about any glitches in the system. But once we have it dialed in, then it's like we're going to open it up to the whole company. Perfect. And, with my partners that we're putting in place, and unfortunately, we're in a timing in the industry whenever we implement something that's really good, we got to make them sign non-competes so the copycat brokerages can't copy it.
Yeah, of course. And they will.
They try. They try. We have agreements in place with a lot of them. But so we've almost got that all dialed in. So we're hoping to roll it out like beginning of January. Nice. But I want you to do Legend Trail.
Yes.
Start it there. And just give it 6 months and dial it in.
Yeah, I love
that. And then what you'll find when you have enough business in one area, like when you get a call for come list me in Sedona, you're going to be like, hey, I have a really great agent up there, Tom.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
No, so true. And you nailed it with like what you guys offer. I mean, I was saying, I can't remember if I said it on the pod or off, but luxury presence is like something we've been looking for a long time. And for that to be provided, like that speaks to the quality.
You name the top brokerages in the Valley and every top agent, they all have sites with luxury presence.
I've noticed, right? I've noticed over time.
And what we found is like for us, one of our pain points with another website provider we had was just like, you have to spend a ton of money to customize the website. And it's a very specialty type of programming and designing. And then that company would push out an update that's site-wide and it would just break all the sites. And it was just such a pain.
Yeah.
And with luxury presence, they're like, are you kidding me? Work with RETSY? Like they rolled out the red carpet because they were getting their foot in the door with Forbes Global Properties. They knew if they got RETSY, it's like, it kind of gets their foot in the door with other brokerages. I know I've referred 4 Forbes brokerages to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's what we expect. Here's what we want. We bulk license for all of our agents. So our agents don't have to pay for their sites.
Right.
A lot of brokerages, agents pay thousands of dollars to keep those sites maintained. But when you negotiate how we negotiate in bulk, the brokerage should be able to afford to do it, right? A luxury brokerage should at least.
Yeah.
That said, it's like now it's like the sites are beautiful. They're all dialed in. The corresponding app with it is awesome with the collaboration boards with your clients. And I mean, like some brokerages can't even afford to get the app, and it's like we provide it for free for all of our agents. So you have some exciting things coming.
Yes.
So it's kind of cool to do this podcast.
It is.
I know when I saw
when
I saw your name on the calendar, I'm like, is he new enough to know? But I'm like, this is a perfect scenario of like, all right, you just got your foot in the door. Like, let's dial in your business, and then also like Sydney, who's in the room with us, I want you to sit down with her.
Yes,
she's going to take you through our ad software. We're going to just pull every contact out of your phone.
Yep.
And we're going to build an ad that's attached to them. So whenever they're surfing on the internet, on the appropriate sites, and then anywhere on Facebook and Instagram, your ads just pop up in front of your clients.
So cool.
Really, it's a top of mind marketing. It's like you see the people that pay for the bus benches and the billboards.
Totally.
It's the same thing, but it's in front of your clientele, the people in your phone that know you and love you, right?
Yeah, it's something they're staring at more than a billboard as well,
Dude, it's honestly one of the best sources of my business. I'll have clients that I've maybe neglected to touch base with in a couple years.
Yep, we all
They'll just call me out of the blue and like, I see your stuff all over the internet. It's like, well, yeah, of course.
It's
but
fantastic.
But top of mind marketing is key. So getting website set up, getting your ads set up. Then I want you to dive into the email program because we're going to do a geographic fence around the neighborhood you're going to farm.
Yep,
right?
Perfect.
So you're going to be hitting them in the mailbox and you're going to be hitting them online.
Ooh, lovely.
And it's like, I mean, aside from door knocking the neighborhood, that's the only other thing you can do.
Totally. And a lot of these people in Legend Trail already kind of know us because we've been having open houses
but
there.
You can't door knock in Legend Trail.
I think
it's illegal. Yeah, it's against their HOA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All good. And just leave an item of value.
Let me retract that.
How about a door hanger?
You can do that.
I mean, you could do that. Yeah. And so these open houses we've been having, it's like we did a couple sunset open houses. We like start at 5. Open the doors and like 6 families come right in. Like people love that neighborhood. We spoke to people who moved out of Legend Trail to Desert Mountain and now they're trying desperately to get back into Legend Trail. You know, it's one of those special neighborhoods that like that's definitely where we'll start. And then I have other ideas from that too. But I wanted to expand on the quality thing a little bit too, and just tout you guys a little bit. So the product suite is amazing. Like, that's fantastic. None of it really comes together if you don't have the right people, right? And you guys seem to have the right people as well. Sydney's awesome. Emma's awesome. Darian's absolutely killing it. Alika, amazing, right? Like,
yeah,
so
it's a machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what really instills the confidence in me, is like, okay, so we have like some pretty good judgment around here, and I can tell we're working towards like the smoothest system in the game, which is what I like. I like to tell cross agents, hey, you want to go under contract with me because we provide the smoothest process, and I'm more thorough than anyone you're going to work with, right? So that philosophy really carries over here, and it's been really fun to see.
Well, that's it. And what's also great is I'll get calls from agents, or I'll be chatting with agents. They're like, we just love working with RETSY agents. They're always so professional, no ghosting, no 5 minutes before the showing cancellations. I mean, just some of the most unprofessional things you see on like $10, $12 million listings. Like, when you have somebody canceling on their route over, like, that was a lack of planning on the agent's part, right?
There
like,
are hours of prep that go into that.
Well, yes. Yeah. Being there, getting the lights on, setting the ambiance.
Still really upset about that. I can tell.
I'm not going to name names, but this agent knows who they are.
Spill. Can I guess?
I'm like, yeah. But, yeah, so, I mean, it's awesome. We're excited to have you. I know
Likewise,
Matthew
man.
didn't
Thank
get to answer. I mean, we had such a great conversation.
We did.
And
But we're
running out of time, so.
Yeah.
No, for real.
All right,
I got to
all
get back
right,
in here at some point.
No, what I was
going
going to say is we
Matt.
have to do like a 3-6 month follow-up.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Big time. Big time. I'm all over it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Love
Let's
it.
plan on it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, we are running a little late on time, so do need to wrap up. But how does the audience connect with you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Casey the Broker, Casey Thompson on Facebook, Elevate Luxury Estates on Instagram. Actually, Elevate Global on Instagram now, and TikTok. Yeah.
Awesome.
I
Come see
think our
what's up.
editor will
Well,
find a way
yeah,
to put
well-
all those down.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll all be, yeah.
Like,
We'll
Jack, I
link
want
it
one to
all.
pop up here, one in front of his face, one over here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that Elevate Global on the RETSY sign couldn't look any better. So we're going to start putting those up all around
Darian.
there.
Yeah. So we worked really, really hard to make that sign as clean and recognizable, but still giving the team recognition where it needs it. I mean, but look at, like, everybody's knocked off our sign looks and fonts, but like none of them have the functionalities.
Yeah.
So
You knew I was trepidatious. I was like, I'll work on Chris. I'll work on getting our signs in there. But like, yours are plenty good enough. We'll rock with those. I love it.
yeah, and you're going to see too when you dig into the ad software with Sydney. We build a retargeting campaign we pay for you. So every one of those sign scans starts to see ads for you. Perfect. Every one of those people. I mean, you have to get 500 scans for it to kick in, because that's a Google rule, more or less, for an audience. But wait till you hit that, and it's just like you'll find your phone will be ringing a lot more.
Love
So
that. Love it.
yeah, or we'll find out in 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Check in, baby. Good stuff, guys. Well, thank you
Casey,
so much
thank
for
you
having
for
me.
coming on.
And
Thank you.
I can't give you enough credit and praise for how this
Thank you.
process has been so far. The onboarding suite is like what I've always wanted. So yeah, it's and we're just getting started, man. We're just scratching the surface. So it's last thing. I want you to know that, like, you know, I've never really cared too much about the brokerage, right? Like I liked, you know, the launch name, Chrissy name, that's cool, but it's always been about the agent. Here, I really do care about the brokerage. I want to champion this brand, and I want to take it as far as it can possibly go. So looking forward to
I
it.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Casey.
Thanks, Casey.
Thank you.
That wraps up this week's episode of the RETSY podcast. Thanks for listening. Check out the show notes to connect with Casey. If you enjoyed today's episode, take a moment to leave us a review wherever you listen to this podcast. And please subscribe so you never miss what's next. Next week, Chris and Matt are sitting down with RETSY Associate Broker and Transaction Coordinator, Carrie Runyon. Here's a sneak preview.
There's no difference between the price point. I mean, for me, the way I operate, every contract is the same as far as the detail, the amount of detail that goes into it. So everything is treated the same, regardless of the price point, because at the end of the day, there's the same amount of liability with every transaction, regardless.